your work and what you're doing and how you navigate, I like how you structure it into the layers. Like there's so many ways that us as gay men have had to strategize, especially someone with similar stories such as yourself, because I know so many gay men who were married in the church. That was what was expected. That is what was the framework. And so many of them married for 20 to 25 years, children, and then being able to overcome that. It isn't something that happens overnight. And so, like you're saying, it takes a certain type of strategy while at the same time surviving. Yeah. And so would you be able to dive in and kind of help us a little bit? Because that resonates so well with so many people about how you dug in and made that decision at that point.
There was a day in my ministry years that I think of where I stood in the bedroom of my house, which was right across the street from the church that I had started. I planted a church, as we called it, from scratch in the South Bend, Indiana area. And I lived in that house with my wife and 3 kids. I had poured my heart, soul, and life into ministry. Ministry was all I knew. It was all I had been trained to do. It was my whole world. And I had started that church about 2.5 years earlier. And this, in addition to just beginning to have the freedom to process some of my own sexuality, identities, things like that, I also was coming to that point of going, is this what I want to do the rest of my life? Is this as good as it gets kind of thing? And I stood there and I looked across the street of the window. I remember it was a really cold, rainy day. And I was in the bedroom by myself. And I remember I said out loud, I was like, I don't think I want to do this the rest of my life. And that was the first time I had admitted that to myself.
Yeah.
And I knew all the implications of that. Because if I'm not going to do this, well, what on earth am I going to do?
Yeah.
This is all I know how to do, you know? But I had enough gumption in me to go, this is not what I want to do the rest of my life. And I fast forwarded and I thought, I'm going to be like 70 someday, because I thought that church was my life's work. And I started thinking, when I'm 70 and I look back, what am I going to think? What am I going to feel? Yeah. And I realized I feel like I have spent my whole life investing in the lives of other people so that they can live their best life while I'm sacrificing my own in the process.
Yeah.
And I thought of all the things that I might want to do or try, but wouldn't be able to because of being in ministry, because of this calling. And that we can talk about later, but that I was never actually called to do, but was really roped into doing. And so it was on that day that I just was like, I don't know what this means, but I am acknowledging that I don't want to do this. And I think that's a real starting place for people, no matter where they're at, is to just stop and go, if this is as good as it gets, is this really what you want to do? But we aren't trained, especially coming from our church backgrounds, to think about what's best for us. I tend to think, oh, well, but the people, my children, my wife, the people, kind of thing. Yeah. But having that courage just to admit to yourself, it's okay to admit what you do with it is still up in the air. I still may have decided to stay in there, but in that moment it was like, no, this is not what I want to do. So what is that going to mean for me?